lifetime, a second lifetime. The next Gilgul. After these guys all said Sfira, and I'm defeated, all of a sudden, I hear the Bachram in the dining room, 100, 150 Bachram. One of the fellows came in, he got engaged. So he's handing out cigarettes, Kamosha Osu, as they did in those days when they didn't know how terrible it was. And I'm left the only one at the lunch table, not dancing, and they're all dancing. I sat there. They all came back, the big heroes, sweating bullets. And they sit down. And I look at the table and I say one word, Sfira. They were wiped out. So I got up and I decided I'm going to take the law into my own hands. I went over to a number of the senior students in the yeshiva and I told them, listen, after Mincha started the Lumdei Chol part of the program. I said, as long as you dance, nobody is going to be marked absent. For an hour and a half, the whole yeshiva danced the Chodesh Yerushalayim. Those guys sitting at the table were lovely people, but they were MDSs. They were Mark David Schleifers, certified. 1 year, only 1 year after the awesome Hatzalah of the Six-Day War. Now I'll get back to the second story that I wanted to tell you. The second story is one that came recently into my life, and I just like it, Every time I say it, I dramatize it even more than I dramatized it the time before. But one of that, all the drama is true. Every bit of drama is going to be true. I live on Rehov Agassi in Harnov. Now when I get out of my house, I get into my car, I turn right. I turn right. I come to the corner. The corner is Katzenellenbogen Street. Better listen carefully. You're going to have to know that name. Katzenellenbogen. Katzenellenbogen, I usually turn right. And then the end of the first block is Bet HaTfus. The end of the next one, just a little bit further, is Rehov Kanfei Nishorim. Not much of a distance. It's really 1 block from the corner of Agassi and Katzenellenbogen. All right. Anyway, I drive out one day. I didn't know that it was going to become such a fateful day. I drive out of my house and I come to the corner of Katzenellenbogen and Agassi, and I see an absolutely beautiful Jew standing there waiting for a hitch. That's where everybody stands. They stand at the corner of Agassi and Katzenellenbogen. I had stopped a long time taking hitchhikers. Why did I stop taking hitchhikers? Because it's always the same thing. You go through the same rigmarole. Lana Tanosea. So I tell him, Lo chashuv lana ninosea lana tarotzel l'tzara. What's your business? Ask me what. Where do you want to go? All right. Usually the answer is Merkaz Ha'ir. So I say, yeah, I'm going to Merkaz Ha'ir. I can take you right to King George. Kiryat Yisrael. Gula. What's Merkaz Ha'ir? The center for me is not the center for them. So it always ends up the same. I'm never going where they're going. So I stopped picking up hitchhikers. But this Jew, I'm telling you, was beautiful. A beautiful Jew, dressed behidur gadol, long bekisher, beautiful black hat. Really beautiful Jew. I couldn't go further. I stopped, and then starts the negotiation. No hitches goes without negotiation. He's not sure yet whether he wants to go to the first corner, which is Bet HaTfus, that he could have done in 2 minutes walking. It'll take 20 seconds to drive. Or he wants to go to the next one, which is Kanfei Nishorim, that's about another 10 seconds. And here, Bet HaTfus, Kanfei Nishorim, finally I see he makes a decision. Kanfei Sholom. So I said, tell him I'm going to Kanfei Sholom. I was not ready for what happened after that. Hashgacha Pratis. Hashgacha Pratis. I'm a nice guy, but sort of the Satan got into me. And I turned to him and I said, Medinas Yisrael? What about the state of Israel? Silence. Why did I say it? The Lord knows. 5-10 seconds silence, and he turns to me and he says, Mistame biste gerecht. You're most probably right. Now let's analyze the story. There was no doubt about it in his mind that it was by divine imperative that I got into my car at precisely that moment and arrived at the corner of Agassi and Katzenelnbogen. God sent me. I mean, I was thrilled to be God's shliach, to pick this man up and give him a verschluggen ride that he could have done in two minutes walking. That was sure, that was certain that this was min hashamayim. God turned heaven and earth. Go, get him. But that the Rebbeinu Shalom turned literally heaven and earth to bring his people back to Eretz Yisrael after 2,000 years and give them Eretz Yisrael as a gift? Mistama. Most probably you're right. You know what he is? He's Mark David Schleifer. But you know what? On second thought, I decided he was absolutely right. It was Hashgacha Pratis. The Rebbeinu Shalom wanted me to go out of my house at precisely that moment to pick him up and to tell him those words. And Eretz Yisrael, Medinas Yisrael. That's what I wanted. Let this guy hear it. He'll most probably never forget it for the rest of his life. I certainly won't. That's for sure. This is too good a story. It causes me a tremendous amount of pain. The mitzvah upon us, our mitzvah is, don't ever be anything that in any way approximates a Mark David Schleifer. We have to be fully aware of all the chasadim that the Rebbeinu Shalom has done to our generation. And don't pay any attention to the guys who shuffle around on Yom Ha'atzmaut like it's Tisha B'Av. In the fullness of one's sense of Hashgacha Pratis, you know what you do? You say Hallel. We can thank the Rebbeinu Shalom. The yesod of what I want to talk about over here is a Shadei Tshuva Rabbeinu Yonah. The Shadei Tshuva Rabbeinu Yonah, Shar Shlishi, number Yud Zayin. V'da, he says, Ki ha'ma'alot ha'elyonot, the most significant ideas and aspects of Torah find their expression in positive commandments. He talks about free will, imitato Dei v'halachta b'droch, of going the ways of the Rebbeinu Shalom. The mala of hitbonein begadlos Hashem, that we have to see the greatness of God. And then he says, umalo zichron chasodov hitbonein bahem, to remember what God did for us, all the kindness that he did for us, and to ponder and meditate about it. Let it go into your kishkis. V'zacharta et kol haderech, brings the pasuk in Dvarim, v'zacharta, remember the whole